What's going on, guys? Dots Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you all my top 10 guns list for Apex Legends Season 4. I made one of these for Season 3, and now with the new season of Apex being out for quite a bit now, I wanted to update this guide for Season 4. We've seen a little bit of shuffling around our list, a couple of big swings, and as well as a couple of new additions. So I want to cover all those for you today. And the first one we're going to cover is my number 10 weapon, which was my number 1 weapon from last season, and that is the G7 Scout. So the G7 Scout has received a couple of pretty big nerfs from last season to this season. One of the biggest things that the G7 had was it had really accurate hip firing. Really accurate hip firing. And it's still not bad now. It's solid, but definitely nerfed compared to how it was last season. It also moved into the assault rifle class, so it no longer will accept sniper rifle attachments. And another huge notable nerf that it received, as I'm sure you could tell from me firing, is that the fire rate for our single shots as well as our double tap has been nerfed. So the gun doesn't shoot quite as fast, which did lower its DPS. And I think these couple things considered really moved the G7 Scout from being like a weapon that could almost be used at any range now to more of a mid-range single fire weapon, which I think is kind of where it belongs. So that is why it's bringing our list in at number 10. Our number 9 weapon is a new one. Did not mean to pop my cloak. Is the Sentinel. So the Sentinel is the new sniper rifle that was added with Season 4, and it is a really solid gun. It actually just received some buffs recently, so it makes her a very solid sniper rifle. It deals a lot of damage. But what I like about this, too, is that if you have a shield battery on you, you can charge up your Sentinel with your shield battery and then use this for a really powerful hit. As you can see, breaks purple armor and deals almost half of their HP damage, 40 HP damage. It is really powerful, and you get this for a long period of time. Headshots will deal 140 damage, as you can see. It is really strong, and one good way to use this weapon, especially, like, let's say you have this paired with a an assault rifle or even like an SMG for close range. Let's pretend this is an SMG. You know, you could even, besides using the Sentinel as a sniper, you can use it at close range. A body shot will break armor, and then from there, you just go into your second weapon and go into your shots to go right into flesh damage. So I think the Sentinel is really posed to be a strong sniper rifle, of course, as that is what the gun, you know, is designed to be. It is designed to be a sniper, but it also makes for an incredibly powerful single mid-range weapon. So that is why it brings in our list at number 9. Our number 8 gun on our list is going to be the Flatline. So the Flatline has always been a personal favorite of mine for mid to close range. It deals an absolute boatload of damage, but the biggest drawback that I think that the Flatline has is that as you start getting towards those little bit of longer ranges, it definitely suffers in the accuracy department due to the sway and the kick that the gun has. Mid to close range, it does deal an absolute boatload of damage. It is like a slower firing, higher damage R301, but I think the R301 is a little bit better, and that is actually why the R301 is going to be our number 7 gun, and the reason that I have the Flatline below it. So again, the Flatline, very solid. Like I said, really good rate of fire, good damage, but I think the sway and accuracy kind of kills it for that, in my opinion, compared to the 301, which also has solid damage, really good rate of fire, and because the recoil is very easy to control, it makes it a good gun, in my opinion, for any range. For any range, this gun is incredibly solid. I mean, obviously, once you start getting really far, other guns are going to overtake it, but I just think that the R301's accuracy and better ease of control do make it a more superior gun to the Flatline. I don't think it's the best gun in the game, like if you compare it to like a, you know, an R99 or a Prowler. But it is a very solid gun, and no matter what, I feel comfortable if I have an R301 in my hands. So that is why I have the R301 ranked above the Flatline, and I just wanted to talk about these two guns together since I think they're very similar. I almost consider like the Flatline like the heavy ammo version of the R301. They feel very similar niches, but in my opinion, the 301 it takes it over just due to that higher accuracy and better control. So the next gun in our list is going to be the Hemlock, bringing it in at number 6. The Hemlock is an incredibly good gun. They buffed the single rate of fire of this gun by an absolute boatload this patch. It went from 5.6 to 6.4. going into Season 4. So I almost feel like the Hemlock kind of fills the niche that the G7 Scout filled last patch, where they basically kind of had the G7 Scout. You would use the G7 Scout for really strong, like, all-range single-target damage. But now, the Hemlock kind of fills that niche. And if you want to lay down more fire than just a single target, you can absolutely use the burst fire. You're absolutely more than welcome to. But I think that the Hemlock shines with this new single target burst fire. Or single target fire. It's incredibly accurate. Deals a lot of damage because it is a heavy ammoed gun. And I just think that, you know, it was, in my opinion, a very good gun last season too. But I think that the buff that it received, making the single shot even stronger, makes it a better contender for Season 4. A really, really good assault rifle choice for all ranges, especially with how fast you can shoot now with that single target. And that is why it comes, or single shot, and that's why it comes in at number 6. Our number 5 gun is going to be the Wingman. The Wingman is, even though overall the amount of bullets it can hold has been reduced. Epic Mag, it used to be able to hold 10, and now it can hold 8. Rare was 8 and now 7. Common is the same, but the base has gone up. So it is weaker at higher tier mags and stronger at lower tier mags. And I think, in my opinion, it's actually moved the Wingman up my tier list because of that. Now we are sitting, like I said, at that number 5 spot, because I think the biggest issue that the Wingman had going in, you know, with last season was that if you had it at, you know, just its base, I thought it was really weak because 4 shots wasn't enough. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a very good gun. I mean, you see 94 to the head, it's really strong. But I just think that for most players, you know, having only 4 bullets at your disposal is really, really tough, especially early game. Now, though, with the lower tier mags, basically just kind of when you have no mag, so early game, that being buffed by a singular shot, common's still the same, but having that base increase, I think, is a huge buff to the Wingman overall, especially for that early game. So now when I pick it up, I'm way more comfortable early game having a Wingman in my hands. So I think for that reason, it has moved up to the number 5 spot on our list. Bringing in my list at number 4, we are going to have the L-Star. So for those of you who do not know, the L-Star was a golden gun last season, and it was kind of trash. And so they moved it out of the golden gun pool, moved it into the regular gun pool, making it an energy weapon, and it does not have any reload required. It basically has infinite fire, and I think it's a really good change, because for the gun, it used to have the, if you shoot it for too long, right? I'm just trying to heat it up. It would overheat, and you'd have to, you know, back off from it, but then you'd also have to reload. So it just made using the gun incredibly difficult. But now that you don't have to reload, if you're able to kind of pace your shots, it's a really, really powerful gun, and you never have to reload. You're literally dealing with almost unlimited ammo. Now, I think that one of the things that make this gun really, really strong is the fact that, as you can see, we have a really good rate of fire, good damage, pretty decent accuracy. But I personally find that in, like, gunfights in a practical game, that the, you know, dealing a bit with the muzzle flash from the gun could definitely be a little challenging, and that you also have the slow travel time of the bullets, which can, you know, give people a little bit of time to react. But the gun overall is really good, great rate of fire, deals really awesome damage. But I just think that the slower travel time of the bullets, as well as the muzzle flash that you have to deal with in a practical game, just, you know, when you're actually dealing with all other effects going on from other players, it can make it a little bit hard to track. So that's why it brings in our list at number 4, but it is definitely one of the best weapons in the game. Our number 3 weapon is, of course, still going to be the Peacekeeper. So they have nerfed the Peacekeeper a couple times. Mag size has gone down to 5. We have increased reload time up to 2.65. It comes from 2.5. Reload time with an empty mag has gone up, and they have slightly increased the scale of the blast pattern from 1.6 to 1.7. So even though with these nerfs to the Peacekeeper, it is still a close range, single target animal. It just deals so much burst damage up close that it's always going to be a strong weapon. It's just the way that the weapon is designed. It makes it really, really powerful up close. But I think what holds it back from being one of the best guns in the game, like one of like my top 2, is the fact that it is way more punishing now if you miss your shots, with the reload time being longer and the mag size being reduced. If you do miss those PK shots, you're definitely going to be feeling it. So still a very, very good gun, really powerful, still your primo shotgun to use, but definitely not as strong as it was in Season 3. Now, bringing in our list at number 2, no surprise, is the R99. The R99 is just one of the best guns in the game. It has an incredibly fast fire rate, really, really powerful, and with it basically base mag, you can one-clip somebody if you hit all of your shots. It's got... the recoil can be hard to control, which I definitely think that is what makes makes this gun a little bit tougher for newer players to pick up and use. You know, you go and you see all the pros do all these crazy montages with the R99 hitting all their shots, and you try it for yourself and you have a bit of a tougher time. But I think if you spend the time in the firing range practicing with the R99, you're really, really not going to regret it, because the gun is incredibly powerful. Like I said, you lay down an insane rate of fire, lots of damage, and you can really one-clip people pretty easily. And even then, you can see the reload time for this gun really, really isn't too bad, so you can get back into the fight really quickly. But the reason it's not our number 1 gun is because we have the Prowler sitting at our number 1 spot. The Prowler at higher mags has a bit higher of a bullet count. So we got 35 in our Prowler, and in our R99, we have 27. So that makes the Prowler, in my opinion, a bit better than the R99 this patch. Now, the Prowler has received some buffs going into Season 4. So the Prowler, let me pull up my notes here. The Prowler got increased damage per shot from 14 to 15. And based off of some other people's calculations I've seen, it deals about the same amount of DPS now as the R99. So if you have one gun with 27 bullets and one gun with 35 bullets, I think this one is going to be superior, especially with the select fire. You're able to lay down an insane rate of fire with this gun. You have heavy ammo bullets as well, so the bullets will be dealing more damage than the light ammo bullets. As you can see, this is 11 per bullet as opposed to now 15, so it's an additional 4 damage per bullet. So if you're dealing with fights from a bit longer of a range, you're going to get more reward from hitting those shots with the Prowler than you do with the R99. Now, even the even the burst mode on the Prowler, still very solid. It is incredibly accurate to be hip fired from, which I think makes it really, really good still. But I think it is a good game investment to pick up a Prowler, just because if you pick up that select fire, you now have a better R99. So the gun already, even without the hop up, I mean, as you can see, pretty accurate, really, really good damage. And it's a good investment, because if you do get that select fire, you will be able to, I think, outpace some people with the R99. So, in my opinion, the Prowler is our number 1 gun for Apex Legends Season 4 for those reasons. So, guys, that is my top 10 list. So, just to reiterate, it is number 10 is the G7 Scout, number 9 is the Sentinel, 8 is the Flatline, 7 is the R301, 6 is the Hemlock, 5 is the Wingman, 4 is the L-Star, 3 is the Peacekeeper, 2 is the R99, and our number 1 gun is the Prowler. So, guys, let me know what you think about this list. What is your top 10 guns for Apex Legends Season 4? Let me know in the comments section below. And if you guys like this video and like my list, I'd appreciate it if you smacked a like on the video. Any questions about them, feel free to leave it below as well with your other comments. And to keep up to date with the gaming content I put out here on my YouTube channel, please hit that sub button as well as hit the bell to keep notifications on. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm Dots Gaming, and I'll see y'all in the next one.